Our number 3 story, I'm not making this up. We have the video. The Republican frontrunner against Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid of Nevada is advancing a healthcare system in which you would pay for your checkups, your x-rays, your mammograms, your kids' stitches with chickens. Did I mention that I'm not making this up? Her name is Sue Lowden, and she has been beating Reid handily in the polls. So far on Monday, the wealthy former TV news anchor and current gambling executive appeared on local television and outlined her vision of healthcare reform. The interview aired following remarks she made last week, in which she suggested using the barter system to pay for health care, and reasonable minds suspected she meant to say patients should haggle with their doctors. Nope. As she confirmed in this interview, she meant barter.
People walk into a doctor's office and the first thing they ask you for is your insurance card.
Yes, they do. And
when
as
you
soon
make
as you say you don't have one, can I speak to the doctor? Can I speak to someone
They want
who's
that
in
insurance.
charge? Yes, they do. Of course, they're used to doing that. But let's change the system and talk about what the possibilities are. I'm telling you that this works. You know, before we all started having health care in the olden days, our grandparents, they would bring a chicken to the doctor. They would say, I'll paint your house. They would do, I mean, that's the old days of what people would do to get health care with their doctors. Doctors are very sympathetic people. I'm not backing down from that system.
Not backing down. Lowden is an executive at the Archon Corporation, a gambling concern. No word yet on whether she's been able to convince her employer to accept chickens as payment for gambling debts. Democrats leapt to ridicule Lowden, launching a website called Checkups for Chickens. The Reid campaign sent out a press release asking whether Lowden had lost her mind. Lowden stands by her plan and today sent Plumline a link to a letter to the editor from a Nevada doctor supporting her plan, a Nevada doctor who just happens to have been a Republican opponent of Harry Reid. Let's bring in MSNBC political analyst Eugene Robinson, also associate editor and Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for the Washington Post. What are you laughing about, Gene? This is serious American politics here.
I would suspect you of having made this up if I hadn't, gone and checked it out myself. And yes, indeed, what you just said did in fact happen.
Now, should we take a moment to perhaps praise candidate Lowden for actually coming clean, in a sense, for letting us know that Republicans, or at least this Republican running for Senate, has actually no idea, no useful idea at all about what to do about health care costs, about how to help people afford an absolute necessity like this when they can't afford it?
First, we should praise her for showing Monty Python how it should be done. I mean, you can imagine them sitting around, tossing around ideas for sketches and saying, I've got it. A bloke comes in and tries to pay his doctor bill with a chicken. And the others saying, no, that's a little too far out. Let's go with the dead parrot in the pet store instead. I mean, it's just breathtaking. But I guess she's done a favor to the voters of Nevada who now know her health care plan, which is poultry for physicians.
Now, she makes no apologies for this. She doesn't try to back off. She's at least tripling down on it in the number of opportunities she's had to back off. And, as we laugh about it, my second reaction after that was thinking about the world of Harry Reid. We watched Harry Reid for a year pursue something that was unpopular in Nevada politics, as this candidacy clearly shows. She's in the lead in Nevada. Harry Reid pushed health care reform. What does it say about the political climate in Harry Reid's home state that someone can get up and say something like this about health care reform and actually be ahead of Harry Reid in the polls?
I cannot imagine, Lawrence. I mean, obviously Harry Reid has political problems in Nevada, and the health care reform bill was not popular there. We knew all that. We suspected perhaps that a candidate would come out and say what other Republicans are saying, which is that let's take an incremental approach and we should have started from scratch and this and that. I don't think anyone believed that this would be the idea idea coming out of the mouth of a candidate who, in a recent poll, was 10 points ahead of Harry Reid. You feel that he's in a world of hurt right now, and you got to feel sorry for the guy if this is the idea that's going to defeat him.
I want to test your memory here, Gene, if you can think of something that I can't, and that is I've never seen a senator carry a bill like this that he knew was very unpopular in his state. And I'm leaving content aside. I mean, in either party, I've never seen a senator, a leader in the Senate, carry a bill that he knew was so politically risky for him in the Senate. What Harry Reid did for me, anyway, from where I was sitting, was the most extraordinary profile and courage I have seen a senator do in a chamber that is not known for political courage.
Lawrence, I was thinking about that earlier, and I can't come up with a counterexample either. If he knew, and he must have known the way the political wind was blowing in his state, that it was this deeply unpopular, that this sort of barnyard solution to healthcare reform would gain traction. It is extraordinary, and you have to look back at the healthcare fight and say, that was indeed a courageous thing to do. But you also have to wonder, what is to become of this great nation of ours, Lawrence, if someone who actually believes this is an idea for healthcare could possibly be elected to the U.S. Senate?
Well, this comment may be the thing that gets Harry Reid back in the race. If Nevadans listen to this and realize what an idiotic thing this candidate is pushing, Harry Reid may still have a chance. Eugene Robinson, Pulitzer Prize-winning columnist for The Washington Post, thank you very much for joining us on this very peculiar story.